Madam Speaker, our homeland security today is paralyzed by denial, ignorance, and political correctness. Systematic dependence on luck is not a national security plan. It's a disaster waiting to happen. From the borders to the big cities, America's national security is always in critical, or seems to be in critical disarray. In 1998, Osama bin Laden declared war on America, but we didn't pay attention to it. What's it going to take for our leaders to understand that radical Islamic terrorists want to murder our people? Law enforcement in New York, federal, state, and city have done an incredible job in a short amount of time to apprehend the Times Square terrorists, despite dangerous political games being played by some officials. In spite of politics, our lawmen acted swiftly, efficiently, and effectively in the capture of this terrorist. But New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg told the media, quote, "If I had to guess 25 cents, this would be homegrown, maybe a mentally deranged person, someone with a political agenda that doesn't like the health care bill or something." Now, isn't that helpful? The Times Square terrorist, Faisal Shahzad, was not a Tea Party going taxpayer opposed to Obamacare. There's no excuse for this reckless smear of the majority of Americans who oppose the government takeover of health care. It's irresponsible to play political games with national security. And even though Homeland Security Secretary Napolitano won't use the word terrorist, all the indications are this was an act of terror. Now, the terrorist, Faisal Shahzad, on an airplane bound for Dubai. Reports say the airlines contacted the authorities to say he made a last-minute reservation for the flight, got on the plane after paying cash. He is from Pakistan. Somehow, this radical terrorist was granted American citizenship in 2009. Shahzad told the FBI he went through a terror training camp in Pakistan, in the region of Waziristan. Sounds like a terrorist to me. This is where the Taliban operates, the same Pakistani Taliban that immediately claimed responsibility for the Times Square's foiled attack. Reports say Shahzad has been in Pakistan for several months, and 8 people now have been arrested in Pakistan. 2 of them are related to Shahzad. Over the past year, we've had a surge of attacks from radical Islamic jihadists who murder in the name of hate. For example, the Fort Hood shooter killed 14 Americans and injured 30 more. That was an act of terror. The attack on the Arkansas military recruiting station by a radical jihadist who killed an American soldier. That was an act of terror. And then there's the Christmas Day underwear bomber. That was an act of terror. In that case, Homeland Security Director or Secretary Janet Napolitano said, quote, "The system worked when we caught the underwear bomber." That means the government plan in that case is for passengers on the plane to tackle terrorists trying to explode bombs hidden in their underwear. That's a plan. That's our national system. Combating terrorism takes vision. It takes moral clarity. There's no room for playing politics or politically correct games. Ronald Reagan once explained it this way, quote, "Above all, we must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is the weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey on their neighbors." And that's just the way it is. I yield back, Madam Speaker.